Hello everybody, welcome to BOBCAD-CAM UK. Peter speaking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some basic modelling for you today to show you how we model and some basic drawing and different types of trimming, etc. You may have seen this video somewhere else before, but I'm going to show you how we do it in BOBCAD. And all I'm going to do is just create myself a rectangle on the screen, creating 20mm rads on the corners. So all we have to do really, if we wanted to, we could just go into other, rectangle, and you can see it's already showing a predefined shape of what we want, giving us the length and the width. So I could go in there and just say I want it 100 in Y, I want it 100. I'm going to put a radius in there, put 20mm radiuses. I'm going to draw it round X0, Y0, accept OK, and there you see, and just cancel. I've created that rectangle. Pretty straightforward to do, but some things you're doing when you're trying to draw lines and join them together and various other things, sometimes you need to understand how that works as well. Okay, so if we just undo what we've done, and what I'm going to do is just draw this by a series of lines. So if I go into lines, I'm going to go into sketch, and what I want to do is I want to sketch an horizontal line, and I'm going to do it fixed, and I want to, in my y-axis, I want to do that at 50. If I come onto the screen, and while we're talking, we'll just cancel that. You'll notice on my screen I've got, every time I click my mouse, you'll see a red ring, and if I press my right mouse, you'll see a blue ring. So anytime you're looking at what buttons, it's red for my left and blue for my right, but we'll carry on from there. So if I go into lines, sketch, I'm going to do fix plus 50, come onto the screen, and all you have to do is click anywhere you want on the screen, it will just draw the line at 50. Then what I want to do is put that at minus 50, even if I'm up here, you'll still draw the line at minus 50. I'm going to go into vertical then, fixed, and on the X I'm going to draw that at 50. Just come in, left click, pull your mouse, pull it down, and then what I'll do then, I want to do that at X minus 50, and I'll just draw a shorter line from there to there. I'm happy with what I've got, press cancel, and you can see now I've drawn the 4 lines. What I need to do then is to learn how to trim these together, should I want to trim them together. So what we need to do is to do a little bit of trimming, and I'm going to go into the trim menu, and at the moment it's predefined at trim 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim one entity. You can see on there it's got active, trim one entity. So what the software is asking me to pick what I want to keep and what I want to trim to. Remember, in BOBCAD, trim and extend mean the same thing. So I want to keep that part of the line and I want to trim it to that line there, and I want to keep this part of the line and trim it to the line there. If I just undo that, I could say I want to keep that part of the line and trim it to there, and then I might say I want to keep this part of the line and trim it to there. You can see I've got rid of what I don't need. Okay, so remember when we trim one, so it's trim one, I want to keep this, trim it to this, keep that and trim it to there. Keep this, trim it to there, and keep that, trim it to there. Keep this, whoops, failed to trim one. Okay, I want to keep this, and now I want to extend it down to there, keep this and trim it to there. Notice when I pick on it and say this is what I want to do, and when I'm going to, it gives you a preview of what you're going to get. That's what I want to keep, pick that and trim it to there. Right click and cancel. So you can see I just did trim one. I'm going to undo what I've done, and what we can do then, instead of trimming one, let's go back one, we're going to go and trim 2. Come down, trim 2, and you can see trim 2 entities. Just select what you want to keep. I want to keep that to there, keep this to here, keep that to there, and keep that to there, and cancel. So you can see I've trimmed 2 together there. What we can do also is if we'll put some fillets in the corner. So I'll go into arcs, fillet, 20mm radius. I've turned the trimming on, turn it off and it will leave them untrimmed. 20, so pick your first line. When you come to your second line, it will give you a preview to show you if that's what you want. If that rad's too big, of course you can go back up there and amend it. If I said that was 10, come back into there, you can see it'll create it as a smaller fillet. So I'm going to put that back to 20 and select first line, second line. It looks like it's gone back to 10, but it hasn't. What it is, it's waiting for you to acknowledge, and now it's changed it to 20. So I'm going to go from this line to this line, that one to that one, this one to that one there, and cancel. Okay, let's just undo that again. We could have also gone to the 4 lines on their own and gone into arc and fillet and asked it to trim, and it would have saved you doing all the trimming because it will just do it automatically for you. And we'll trim that to that one, this to that one there, and press OK and cancel. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can make our first model, and what I'm going to do then is make a solid block here. So let's go into let's create a Extrude Curves, and I'm going to extrude curves. You can see it here, and this is the first option you're given on here. Now first of all, first one is a preview. Now the preview means it's going to show you when you've done the operation if that's what you want. And if it's not what you want, at least you've seen the preview and you can cancel what you're doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave preview on. I want a distance of 50i and I want draft of 5 degrees. Now with caps and along normal. Okay. Well, with caps, first of all, because it's an extrusion, it would be extruding straight up. And because I want to put a cap on top of it, in other words, there'd be no bottom and no top. But with caps, it will cap the bottom and cap the top for you automatically. And what we're going to do is we're going along the Z axis there. So if I select OK, now when I come onto the screen, what we're going to do now is it's asking me to pick the geometry that I want to extrude, and you can see it's just highlighting one of the lines. What we need to do is we need to do chain select, it's called. So all you need to do is come onto there with your mouse, highlight it, press your shift key, press your left mouse button, and you can see it's highlighted everything red. Take your finger off the shift key, and then all you need to do then is just right click and press OK. And you can see there it's created an extrusion with a cap on top and a cap underneath. Is that what you want? I'm going to select OK, and there you see you've created your first model. And cancel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a fillet around the top, around this top edge. Now we're not working with geometry fillets here, arcs fillets. What we need to do is we need to go into the modeling fillets, which is solid fillet. Select OK. I'm going to use a constant fillet. I'm going to put a 10mm fillet in there, and I want it to blend in tangentially to them edges as well as there. Select OK. Now when I come on here, you can see it's asking me to pick the edges. Now I can go around the model. You can see I highlight the corners like so. So I go around to that one, this one, pick that one, pick that one, this one, that one, this one, that one, right click and select OK, and you can see put the fillet in. Okay, there's an easier way than that. All you need to do is when it's asking you to pick it, you just need to pick the surface rather than go and pick all the edges. So if I left click the surface I want to fillet, right click and press OK, you can see I've got the same result. What I want to do now is I want to create some holes in the top of here. I'm going to put some holes straight through with a counter bore. And for me to do that, what I want to do now is I need to bring I need to make myself a new plane on there, what we call a user coordinate system, or a plane, or an area. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring out the layers menu, just lock it back on the system there, and what I'd like to do, let's go into UCSs, which are your user coordinate system. What I want to do is just create a plane on the top of here. So I'm going to create myself a plane, add a new CS. I'm going to pick it off a planar face, which happens to be this face here. Also, I'm going to go into rotate, make that 0. And okay, select planar face. I'm going to pick this surface here, and you can see now I've created myself a new UCS there. Just cancel that out. So in other words, it's another working surface. You can see I've moved everything up there. And also this is good for modelling because we can move this around to suit what we want to do. But at the moment, the blue is Z positive. When it creates a plane, that's always pointing upwards. So we know the top of this is a positive and the reverse of it is a negative. It's going downwards. I'm just going to rename this. Let's go into top of block. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to create some circles on top of here and put some holes and counterboards in the top. Let's go into our arc, and I'm going to use a coordinate system at the moment. I've got my highlighter showing it in a different colour to what I'm drawing in, so it highlights and shows me where that's going to be positioned. And at the moment I'm happy where it is. It's got a 10mm radius, so I'm going to select OK because I want one there. I also want at the same position in the middle a 6mm and select OK. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put that to 20, and that would be the new position. And I'm going to accept that's OK and change the radius on top and select OK. I'm going to change that to -20. That's my new position. I'm happy with that, and then I'm going to put a 6, select OK, and then Y. Sorry, Y. That's the new position. I'm happy with that. Select OK, and I'll change the radius to and cancel. So what we've done now is we've created some new geometry on there for the holes what we want to put in there. And remember, this is a positive, so if I want to actually cut into the job, all we have to do is just make a solid and cut through it. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn off the let's have a look. Let's turn off the UCS for a minute and just give me some room to work in. Okay. Let's go into UCS as well while I'm at it, and I'll just highlight that one. It doesn't no, we're working on top. We'll keep that one on there because that's where we're working with. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to extrude some solids through here, and so therefore I need to make the solids. So we're going to go into Extrude Curves, and one of the things you'll notice is in BOBCAD is it tries to highlight all the surfaces. It highlights some of the geometry, but it doesn't actually highlight the geometry I'm interested in doing. So let's just press cancel. So the way around that is quite easy at the moment, because at the moment you can turn on with your keyboard. If you press shading, you can turn your shading on or your shading off. On, off. You can turn your wireframe on, shading off, shading on. Turn the wireframe. Transparency, you can turn that off or turn it on again. So what I'm going to do is turn the shading off, and now it will see that geometry to do whatever I need to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into Extrude Curves. I'm going to go through there, so -100 with caps. Yeah, that's fine. So if I just pick that one, this one, that one, that one, press my right mouse button and press OK, you can see it's put the 4 through there. I'm actually going to accept that, and you can see we've got them on there. So if I go back into shading, just press S on my key, sorry, back on the screen, press S on the keyboard, you'll see now you've extruded some solids within there. So all we need to do now is go into solids, and subtract. And what it's asking us to do is pick the main body, which it is, and then it's going to ask me to pick the bodies I want to remove, which are them four there. Right click, select OK, and you should see you've got the 4 holes in there. It just saves you blanking, basically. It means you can still see what you've got there. So what we need to do then is we need to put the counterbores in here. So what I'm going to do now is just cancel that operation, and I'm going to go into Extrude Curves. I'm going to go 12mm deep, -12, with caps, yeah, select OK. So all I need to do then, once again, I can't highlight what I want, so if we turn shading off, you can see now we can highlight it. So left click, left click, left click, left click, right click, select OK, and you can see we've extracted them into the model. Select OK. So let's turn shading back on again, and all we need to do is deduct them from the others. Press cancel, into solids, subtract. This is what I want to modify. Once again, it's not highlighting, it could be light surfaces, so let's go into shading, and I want to subtract that one. Subtract this one, I'm just picking the bottom of the subtract that one and subtract that one. Right click, press OK, and if we go back into shading, you can see we've subtracted what we need to do. Let me just go back into the this menu at the moment, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that top, I'm going to put it back on the top plane there, and we'll press cancel. So you can see now we've extruded cuts, and all I want to do now is we'll just put some chamfers on top there. So we're going to chamfers, constant fillet. I'm going to put a chamfer on. Let's put a 2mm chamfer, and all I need to do is select that edge, this edge, that edge, that edge, right click, select OK, and you can see it's chamfered them. I'll do the same on the bottom. Left click, left click, left click, left click, right click, and press OK. Okay, so you can see I didn't have to extract any information. All I need to do was go in and select the edge of what I was trying to do there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put myself a boss on this face here. We know that's at 5 degrees. Once again, we have to create ourselves a plane there. So let's create ourselves a new plane. So into here, add a new UCS. We're going to use a planar face, and I'm going to select this face here, and you can see I've created a new plane there. I'm okay with that. So what I might do then is just go in there, cancel that, and I'm going to rename that side face. Now what we're doing here now is we're working on an angle face, which is not true to anything else. So all I want to do then is I need to draw some lines on here, some geometry. So what we're going to do then is create some lines, and I'm going to just sketch. I'm going to select horizontal and fix Y, and I'm going to draw that at 0 and just draw a line. Let me see here. Oh, it's going up there. It's me that's got that wrong. Let's just do that again. Let's create a line. Fixed. And all I have to do is just select a line down there, and I'll do that one fixed at 0 and sketch on there, across there. Then what I can do then is I can offset these faces, offset these lines. So if you go into lines, parallel, let's make it 20, click on the face, yeah, I'll take that one, and click on that one. That's probably a little bit high, that. Let's just make that 15. Click on the face, it's 15, yep, and we'll do that one down to there and cancel. So you can see I've drawn some geometry on that face there, and what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to put a fillet in there. So let's go to arcs, fillet, and I'll trim them. Let's just put 6 millirads on, 4 millirads on there will do. So I'm going to select OK. So if I go into T for shading, turn the shading off, you can see now I can start doing that. It remembers the last fillet I put in there, but it will be a small fillet. Trim to there, trim to that one, and trim to that one, and cancel. I can also select the 2 lines that I didn't want anymore because they were only there for construction, and delete them out of there. So now what we've got is we've got a boss that I want to extrude at 5 degrees. So we know the Z is positive, we know the opposite side is negative, that's positive. So I'm just going to extrude curves, pick this contour, spacebar, left click, right click, select OK. We'll put a figure in first. We want to be that to be 50, no draft, and select OK. And you can see now if we're going back into accept it, and we'll go back into shading, and you can see now I've put that on there. Now let's just imagine we want to put a 4 mm fillet around this edge here while I'm out doing this at the moment. So let's go into fillet, constant fillet, 4 mm radius, select OK, and you can see it highlights the edge, or it's trying to. There it is. It'll go round, select OK, and you can see it's filleted wrong. It's filleted this model, not that 2 joining together. So let's just undo. And there's a reason for that, because these are 2 individual solids. We just cancel that at the moment. And what I want to do is, if we go to select, you can see that's a solid and this is a solid. So what we need to do is we actually need to put them together. So what I'm going to do is go into solids, and I'm going to add. I'm going to take this solid and that solid, right click and press OK, and now it should be one total solid, which it is. So let's press cancel, and this time let's try and put the fillet around there now. So let's go into fillet, select OK, and we're going to come in and highlight the edge, right click, press OK, and you can see we've created that fillet along that edge there. Press cancel. So it's about you understanding what, when you union something together or merge it together or add it to it, this is how you would do this in BOBCAD. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to put a pocket down this end. So of course what I'm going to do now is create myself another new UCS, and I'm going to use a planar face, and you can see I've created one on there. And what I'd like to do is extract some information off there. So what I need to do then is just extract some edges and cancel that for a minute. And what I want to do is extract this edge here. So I'm going to go into extract single, and I'm going to extract and press OK. And if I'm just going to blank the model for a minute now. So if I just select the model and press OK, and you can see we've extracted that information around there. Let's press cancel to that. So what I'd like to do is I just want to offset that 1 mm thick. So we've got a thin wall section through. So I'm just going to go into other offset, 1 mm, number of offsets, just the one. If I left click and keep my on the space key, shift key, you can see I picked it, right click, select OK. You can see I've offset the profile, accept that and cancel. What I'll do also is I might as well put the solid in there while I'm in there at the moment. So I'm going to go into extrude curves. I'm going to go -50, select OK, and I'm going to pick this one here, right click and select OK, and you can see I've made this other solid inside of it there. So let's cancel that. Whoops, sorry, should have kept that. Let's go into pick that, shift key and select OK, and then OK on that one, cancel. If I just go on unblank the model, which I have done, press OK, we've now got hopefully that solid inside of that solid, because I want to deduct that from there now. So let's just go into shading. You can see we've got the model inside. So what I want to do now is chop that out of there. So what I'm going to do is go into solids, subtract, this is the main body, and then what I'm going to do is come in and highlight that body there, right click, select OK, and if we go back into shading, you can see now we've put an all, just press cancel, we've chopped that out of there. Also I'm going to put a strengthening fillet in there while I'm at it, so let's just go into arcs, select OK, and if I just come in and pick the edge and select OK, you can see we've put that fillet around that bottom inside of there. Cancel. Right, okay, what I want to do, I'm going to put all through the middle of here as well. I'm just going to get rid of some of the geometry in here. Let me go and let's have a look. Let's go into select mode and let's select by colours, and let's get rid of this geometry here and just delete it because I don't need it at the moment. There we go. And okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be putting another UCS on the top of here. So let me open that up. Let's put a new one in and click the top, and you can see then I've created another plane that's parallel with this, and all I need to do then is I'm going to accept that and cancel, and then what I want to do then is just create myself an arc coordinate. I'll put a radius of I don't know, we'll draw it at 0, 0, and yeah, I'll leave it at 10. Select OK and cancel. So you can see I've drawn. So all I want to do then is just extrude a hole straight through there parallel with that face there. So what I'm going to do then is go into shading, and I'm going to go into extrude curve, the 50 will do. I'm going to left click, right click, select OK. It shows me a preview. I'm happy with that. Select OK and cancel. So all I need to do then is we'll just turn shading back on, and I just need to deduct that from there. So I'll go into solids, subtract. This is what I want to keep, and that's what I want to subtract. Right click, select OK, and you can see now I've put an all through there at that position where I wanted it to be. Just select cancel. What I'll do then is I'll do the sketch on this end to show you the other end. So all I need to do now is create myself a UCS on here. So I'm just going to create a new UCS off a planar face. Select the face, and you can see now I've got a new UCS. So all I need to do then is I'm just going to draw something randomly on there, select OK, and what I can do is just create a arc sketch. Let's have a look. Let's put in yeah, 10 will do it. We'll do 10. So if I put one here, let's go into, I think I put 2 under there. Let me me just go into shading off. Put one there, one here, one there, and put a final one there. So what I've done is I've done put just 4 circles in there, and what I'm going to do then is just trim off what I don't need, and I shall just go into trimming and quick trim, which are basically a pair of scissors. So what I'll do is I'll just trim off the bits that I don't want, and you can see now I'm trimming away the bits that I don't need. Let's just have a look inside there, and we'll get rid of this one. Okay, and what I'm going to do then is just put a fillet between them. So let's just just cancel that out, and then what I'll do is arc, fillet. Let's just put a 2mm fillet, and I'll fillet between here and here, and fillet between there and there, fillet between here and here, and fillet between there and there. So now you can see I've filleted them off, and all I need to do then is extrude that along. So let's go into Extrude Curves, give it a distance. It now wants to be positive 50 because the arrow is pointing outwards, which is your positive and negative. You can spin them around. Select OK, and all I need to do is just left click on what I want, hold the shift key, right click and press OK, and you can see it gives me a preview of what I want. I'm happy with that. I'm going to select OK, and let's cancel that out. So if I just go into put the shading back on, whoops, back on the screen, back onto shading, you can see I've put that on there. I do want to put a 2mm fillet between them, so what I'm going to do now is, of course, remember I end up with 2 solids, as I said, as I was explaining. If I select single, you see that's a solid, this is a solid, so I need to make them together. So let's go into solids, and we want to add, this is what I want to modify, and I want to add this one to it. Right click and select OK, and that should be a total solid now. So all I need to do then is decide I'm going to put a fillet around the edge. So let's go into just cancel that, let's go into fillet, 2mm fillet, select OK, and all I'm going to do is just pick that edge there, right click, select OK, and you can see fillet, select OK, and then pick that top surface and select OK, and there you see the fillet on top. So you can see I've created that model in BOBCAD. Hopefully that will give you some assistance in showing you how to model with BOBCAD. Hopefully that helps you get started, and thank you for watching.